Yep, you heard me right. We're talking about the 2014 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's turning heads in the coin collecting world. So, grab a seat, maybe check your spare change jar, and let's talk coins. Now, before we jump into why this particular penny is worth more than most people's homes, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was cleaning out my car, you know, that black hole under the seat where French fries and pennies go to retire. I found a penny that looked different. I thought, hey, maybe it's special. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But that little moment kickstarted my obsession with rare coins. And trust me, once you're in this world, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. Alright, let's talk about this superstar penny. First off, what's the deal with the 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? For starters, no-mint mark coins are made at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't stamp its mark on pennies. So if you're thinking, no-mint mark? Big whoop, you're not wrong. It's not unusual. But here's where things get spicy. The $2 million version of this coin is a major minting error. What makes this penny so valuable is its pristine condition and a unique error in the die, the tool used to strike the design onto the coin. This particular penny has a crazy, once-in-a-lifetime combination of characteristics that collectors drool over. We're talking about an ultra-rare double die strike that's so subtle, most people wouldn't notice it unless they're looking with a magnifying glass, or, let's be real, a microscope. Now, here's where the story gets wild. In 2023, one of these pennies sold at auction for $2 million. $2 million. That's a lot of zeros for a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about spending on a pack of gum. So, if you've got a jar of pennies sitting around, it's officially time to get excited. How can you tell if you've got one of these golden, copper tickets? First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's camera zoom. Look for any doubling on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Those are the prime spots for this error. Also, check the date, 2014, and make sure there's no D or S mint mark. If you think you've got something special, don't just toss it back in the jar. Get it professionally appraised. Trust me, you don't want to sell a rare penny for a nickel, or worse, a penny. Now, let's get real for a second. Most of us won't stumble upon $1 million coin, but that doesn't mean coin collecting isn't worth your time. It's like a treasure hunt, except instead of a pirate map, you've got a pile of loose change and maybe a headlamp if you're diving deep into the couch cushions. Plus, there's something oddly satisfying about finding a coin that's worth even a few bucks. It's like hitting a mini jackpot, and hey, even if you don't find a rare coin, you'll still learn a ton about history and the art of minting. Did you know that pennies haven't been 100% copper since 1982? They're mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. Fun fact, that's why they feel lighter than older pennies. You're welcome for the trivia. Now you can impress someone at your next party. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you've got a 2014 no-mint mark penny lying around, check it out. Who knows? It might just be your ticket to early retirement. And even if it's not, don't give up the hunt. The next rare coin could be just a pocket away. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories coming your way. Plus, if you found any interesting coins, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your finds. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny counts, especially if it's worth $2 million. See you next time. You're digging through an old jar of coins, and bam! You come across a humble-looking penny from 1969. Nothing special, right? Wrong. That tiny coin could be your golden ticket to a whopping $1.9 million. Yeah, you heard me right, million with an M. So, grab your coffee, your coin jar, and your sense of humor, because today we're diving into the wild world of the 1969 Abraham Lincoln penny. Let's find out why it's worth more than your house, or, in my case, my ex's entire car collection. First things first, what makes this penny so special? Well, it's all about the minting process. Back in 1969, the Denver Mint had a little oops moment. Some pennies were struck with a double die error. Basically, the coin's design was stamped twice, and you can actually see the doubling in the letters and numbers. Think of it as the coin's way of saying, hey, look at me. I'm unique. Now, before you go rushing to your coin jar, let's talk about what to look for. The doubling is usually noticeable on the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date itself. And here's the kicker, the 1969 D pennies mint mark, the little D under the date, has to be there. If it's missing or doesn't look right, sorry, you're out of luck. But if you've got the real deal, congratulations, my friend, you're sitting on a potential fortune. Alright, let me share a quick story. A few months ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, the classic, find treasures among the junk situation. We stumbled upon an old coffee can full of pennies. At first, I was like, great, gas money. But then I spotted a 1969 penny with that distinct double die. My heart skipped a beat. We sent it off to be authenticated, and while it wasn't the ultra-rare one, it was still worth a solid $50. Not bad for a penny, huh? So, what's the current market value for the elusive $1.9 million penny? It's all about condition and authentication. Coins in mint or near mint condition fetch the highest prices. But here's a pro tip, even if your coin is a little beat up, it could still be worth a significant amount. Just make sure to have it graded by a professional. Trust me, you don't want to sell it at a garage sale for a nickel. And why is this penny worth so much, you ask? Well, it's a combination of rarity, demand, and the sheer cool factor. Collectors go wild for error coins because they're like nature's little oopsie-doodles. Plus, it's not every day you find a penny that can pay off your student loans, mortgage, and still leave you with enough to buy a lifetime supply of coffee. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your pockets, your couch cushions, and maybe even your grandma's coin collection. Who knows, you might be sitting on a tiny copper jackpot. And hey, if you find one, let me know. I'll happily help you spend that $1.9 million. A single penny that could change your life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1976 D mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's rocking the numismatic world. So, stick around because you don't want to miss this treasure hunt. Okay, first off, let's talk about what makes this little copper beauty so special. Back in 1976, while everyone else was busy celebrating America's bicentennial, the Denver Mint was cranking out these Lincoln pennies like nobody's business. But here's the kicker, not all pennies are created equal. Some of these coins ended up with errors or unique characteristics that make collectors drool. Now, one specific 1976 D penny recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Why? Well, experts believe it's all about the coin's condition and a rare minting anomaly. This particular penny was graded as MS67 red, which is numismatic speak for practically flawless and shiny as a new penny from heaven. It's like finding a unicorn in your pocket change. Here's where things get interesting. The 1976 D penny is made from copper, but over the years, copper tends to oxidize and lose its luster. So, finding one in pristine condition is rarer than a cat that enjoys baths. And then, there's the mint mark. The D signifies it was minted in Denver, and certain die errors or misalignments in these coins make them even more desirable. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. Think of it like a tattoo artist making a tiny, quirky mistake. Suddenly, it's art. Speaking of quirky mistakes, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a yard sale, just browsing for hidden gems like old comics or vintage cameras. I spotted this dusty jar of coins. The seller was like, "Oh, that's just junk change." Junk? To a coin lover like me, that's treasure. I grabbed it for $5 and guess what? Among the coins was a penny worth $200. Okay, it's not $1.7 million, but hey, that's a solid profit for a coffee lover like me. Alright, back to the 1976 D penny. If you're wondering, how do I know if I've got one? Here's what to do. First, grab a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera with zoom. Check the penny's date and look for the D mint mark below Lincoln's portrait. Then, examine the coin for any unusual features like doubling on the letters or numbers. If it's in near-perfect condition and you suspect it's special, get it professionally graded. Trust me, a little investment in grading could turn your penny into big bucks. And let's talk market trends. Rare coins like this are hot commodities. They're not just for old-school collectors anymore, even younger folks are getting into the game thanks to social media and viral stories. And with inflation and economic uncertainty, tangible assets like rare coins are becoming more appealing. So, even if you don't find the $1.7 million penny, holding on to rare coins could still be a smart move. Now, here's a pro tip: always check your change. Seriously. That penny you just got is change for your coffee? It could be the jackpot. And don't forget yard sales, flea markets, or even grandma's old piggy bank. Hidden treasures are everywhere if you've got a keen eye. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the scoop on the 1976 D mint mark Lincoln penny. If you've got one, congratulations, you're already winning. And if not, the hunt continues. Remember, it's not just about the money, it's about the thrill of discovery and the stories these coins carry. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got plenty more tips and strategies to help you uncover coins worth serious cash. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're now inspired to dig through your spare change. Let's hear your stories. That's right, a millionaire. Today, we're talking about a 2004 Abraham Lincoln penny without a mint mark that's been making waves for its jaw-dropping value of $1.5 million. Stick around, because I'm going to tell you how to spot one, why it's worth so much, and how you can turn pocket change into serious cash. So, let's start with the basics. You've probably noticed that most coins have a tiny letter stamped on them, like P for Philadelphia or D for Denver. That's called the mint mark, and it tells you where the coin was made. But the 2004 penny we're talking about today? No mint mark. Nada. Zilch. And that's exactly what makes it so special. Now, I know what you're thinking: what's the big deal about a missing letter? Well, here's the scoop. Coins without mint marks can sometimes be errors, and errors are like catnip for coin collectors. It's not just the missing mark, though. This penny's value skyrockets because it's in pristine condition. We're talking shiny, uncirculated, straight out of the mint quality. The official term is MS-70, which stands for Mint State 70. Think of it as the valedictorian of pennies. And how did this one little coin end up being worth $1.5 million? Great question. Turns out, a rare combination of factors makes it a unicorn in the coin world. It's not just about the missing mint mark, it's also about timing, rarity, and the insane demand from collectors willing to pay top dollar. Quick story: a friend of mine, let's call him Mike, once found a rare penny in his kid's piggy bank. He was just about to toss it back into circulation when he noticed something odd. Long story short, Mike sold that penny for enough money to pay off his car loan. True story. So now every time I see a penny, I'm like, could this be the one? Here's how you can join the hunt. First, check every 2004 penny you come across for that missing mint mark. It'll be located just below the date on the front of the coin. Next, examine the coin's condition. If it looks like it just left the mint yesterday, you might be onto something. And finally, consider getting it appraised by a professional. Trust me, you don't want to sell a potential gold mine for face value. Humorous aside, you might be tempted to start raiding your couch cushions or hitting up the local laundromat for spare change. Go for it. Just remember to bring snacks. Treasure hunting can be hungry work. Conclusion: alright, folks, now you know the secret behind the 2004 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's turning heads in the coin world. Who would have thought something so small could hold so much value? Before you rush off to raid your piggy banks, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our little community of coin enthusiasts. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories to help you uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Plus, it's free, just like finding $1 million penny. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Ladies and gentlemen, picture this: you're sorting through an old jar of pennies, the kind most of us have collecting dust in a drawer. Among the ordinary copper coins, could there be one that's secretly worth up to $3 million? That's right, $3 million. Let me tell you about the 1951 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. Not just any penny, but a coin that could change your life. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and what to do if you're lucky enough to find one. But first, let's answer the question everyone is asking: why is this penny worth millions? The year is 1951. Harry S. Truman is president, the U.S. is recovering from World War II, and coin collectors are just beginning to recognize the true value of rare pennies. During this era, the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest mint in the United States, produced millions of pennies without a mint mark. These coins were nothing special, at least, that's what people thought at the time. Fast forward to today, and some of these seemingly ordinary coins are worth an unimaginable fortune. Why? It's not just age that makes these pennies valuable, it's a combination of rarity, condition, and a hidden twist. But more on that in a moment. Have you ever tossed a penny aside, thinking it's just loose change? Imagine throwing away $3 million. Ouch, right? Here's where things get exciting, and a little nerve-wracking. Not every 1951 no-mint mark penny is worth millions. The true gems are those in pristine condition, known as MS-68 or higher on the grading scale. Out of the millions produced, only a tiny fraction have survived in this state. Even more astonishing, some of these coins contain errors, a doubled die or a misaligned strike, that make them even rarer and more valuable. Imagine owning a piece of history so unique that collectors are willing to pay millions for it. Now, I know what you're thinking: how do I know if I have one of these rare pennies? Great question. You'll want to examine your coin carefully for signs of wear, clarity of detail, and, most importantly, any unusual features. Don't worry, I'll guide you through that process in just a moment. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let me throw you a curveball. Did you know that some people sell these pennies without realizing their true value? Imagine selling a fortune for just a few dollars. If that doesn't send chills down your spine, I don't know what will. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1951 no-mint mark penny that could be worth millions? First, don't panic. And definitely don't sell it to the first person who makes an offer. Instead, follow these steps: inspect your penny under a magnifying glass or take high-quality photos. Look for any unique markings or errors. Coins with sharp details and minimal wear are the most valuable. This step is crucial. A certified grading service like PCGS or NGC can provide an official rating that validates your coin's worth. Once your penny is authenticated, it's time to connect with serious buyers. This is where the real fun begins. Auctions, private collectors, and even museums could be interested in your coin. With the right strategy, you could turn a single penny into a life-changing windfall. The clock is ticking. Rare coins are becoming harder to find as collectors snap them up. If you're holding on to a 1951 Lincoln penny, now is the time to act. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Now, let's take a moment to imagine what $3 million could do for your life. Pay off your mortgage. Travel the world. Retire early. The possibilities are endless, but here's the twist: this isn't just about one penny. There are other coins out there, hiding in plain sight, that could also be worth a fortune. Want to know what they are? Make sure you're subscribed, because in my next video, I'll reveal the top 5 rare coins you need to watch for in your collection. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your pennies. That little piece of copper in your drawer could be the key to your financial freedom. Did you know that a simple penny from 1971 could be your ticket to a life of luxury? Yes, you heard that right, a single penny. Imagine holding a coin worth up to $2.9 million in your hand. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be the jackpot you've been sitting on all along. But hurry, the clock is ticking, and you'll want to check your coins before someone else cashes in. Let's dive into the fascinating story of this rare treasure. In Act 1, we set the stage. Picture this, it's the early 1970s. Gas costs 36 cents a gallon, and the Lincoln penny, something we all took for granted, was quietly being minted. But not every penny was created equal. Some, like the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, were struck in error, and those errors? They make all the difference. Here's the kicker, that no-mint mark means these pennies were produced in Philadelphia. Now, a normal 1971 penny is worth just a cent. But the ones with errors, like doubling on the lettering or an ultra-sharp strike, could be worth thousands. And a few? They're worth millions. Still think that change jar in your kitchen is worthless? Think again. Take a quick second and ask yourself, when was the last time I even checked the dates on my pennies? If you're like most people, probably never. That's how fortunes are missed. In Act 2, we unravel the mystery. What makes these pennies so valuable? For starters, the rarity. Coins with errors are like hidden diamonds. Each mistake tells a story of its own, and collectors, the numismatic elite, are willing to pay top dollar for them. Take the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a double die error. This isn't just a coin, it's a masterpiece of chance. The doubling appears on words like liberty or in God we trust, giving the penny a unique, almost ghostly appearance. These aren't just any errors, they're errors that demand attention. And when attention turns to demand, the price skyrockets. Now, imagine someone finding one of these coins in their pocket change. One day, it's paying for coffee, and the next, it's funding a dream house, luxury vacations, or an early retirement. Let me ask you, if you could turn 1 cent into $1 million, wouldn't you start checking your coins today? And here's a bit of humor to lighten the mood, checking your pennies might just become your new cardio routine. Who needs the gym when you've got a treasure hunt in your own home? Act 3 is where it all comes together. You might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these ultra-rare pennies? Start by grabbing a magnifying glass and checking your 1971 pennies for any signs of doubling. Look closely at the date, the lettering, and the overall condition of the coin. Coins in mint or near mint condition fetch the highest prices, but here's the twist. Not every valuable coin screams, I'm worth millions. Some have subtle markers only experts can identify. That's why getting your coins professionally appraised is the next step. Don't let fear of the unknown stop you from uncovering your treasure, and here's where the urgency comes in. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever. Collectors are on the hunt, and the value of these pennies could change at any moment. Miss your chance now, and you might regret it forever. But before you rush off to check your jar of pennies, let me leave you with this cliffhanger. In 2019, a 1971 penny with no mint mark sold for nearly $3 million at auction. Could yours be next? The only way to find out is to start looking. Today, remember, every coin has a story, but only a few can change your life. Could the next millionaire collector be watching this video right now? Check your change. Your future might just be hiding in plain sight. Are you sitting on a fortune and don't even know it? What if I told you a single penny could change your life forever? That's right, the 1970 Lincoln penny, one you might already have stashed away, could be worth up to $2.8 million. Intrigued? You should be, because today, we're diving into why this humble coin is making headlines and how you could cash in big. It's 1976. The United States is celebrating its bicentennial, and millions of pennies are being minted in Denver, marked with the iconic D. For most people, these coins were nothing more than pocket change, a way to buy gum or toss into a jar. But hidden among them were a few rare treasures, pennies so unique that they'd later become the talk of collectors and auction houses alike. So, what makes these pennies so valuable? It's not just their age. It's all about rarity and condition. Imagine stumbling across a needle in a haystack, except that needle could make you a millionaire. But here's the kicker, most people don't even know they're holding one. Think about it, how many coins have passed through your hands over the years without a second glance? Don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The 1976 D Lincoln penny became famous not just for its year but because of its condition and a rare era. Some of these coins were minted with a double die, creating a distinctive doubling effect on the date or lettering. This error makes them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. Check the edges and lettering for any doubling. It'll look like a shadow or duplicate image. Ensure the coin's condition is pristine. Even the tiniest scratch can impact its value. Now, here's where it gets exciting. A 1976 D penny in near-perfect condition recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $2.8 million. Let that sink in for a moment. One penny, nearly $3 million. That's a life-changing amount of money, enough to pay off debt, retire early, or live the dream lifestyle you've always wanted, feeling a mix of excitement and panic. Good, that means you're paying attention. Because here's the thing, these coins aren't just sitting in display cases. They could be hiding in your spare change, a forgotten jar, or even in your kid's piggy bank. Crazy, right? Now that you're on high alert, it's time to take action. Grab your coin stash and start looking. Don't have any coins lying around? No problem. You can always check local thrift stores, garage sales, or even online marketplaces for hidden gems. Just remember, the key is knowing what to look for, and here's a pro tip. If you think you found a 1976 D penny with the rare error, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can drastically reduce its value. Instead, consult a professional appraiser or numismatic expert to confirm its authenticity. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought. How many opportunities pass us by simply because we didn't know they existed? Today, you've learned about one of those opportunities. Imagine the regret of finding out years from now that you had $1 million penny and let it slip through your fingers. So, will you take the chance to change your life? The clock is ticking, and these rare coins won't stay hidden forever. Hit the like button if you're excited to start your treasure hunt, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on uncovering valuable coins. You never know which one might be your golden ticket. A penny you might have casually tossed into your pocket could be worth millions. Yes, millions. The 1978 D Lincoln penny, a coin so common most people never think twice about it. But what if I told you that some of these coins, due to rare errors and unique qualities, have been sold for jaw-dropping prices? In today's video, I'm going to reveal why this humble coin is commanding such extraordinary value, how to spot one that could make you rich, and the secrets behind the record-breaking $2.5 million sale of one of these coins. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. First, let's dive into the story of the Lincoln penny. In 1978, the Denver Mint produced over 4 billion of these coins. They were part of everyday life, jingling in change jars and sliding across grocery counters. But here's the twist, amid the billions of pennies, a few were struck with errors so rare that they've become coveted treasures among collectors. Imagine finding one of these in your spare change. What would you do? Before we get into the specifics, let's address the burning question: why would anyone pay millions for a penny? To understand this, you need to step into the world of coin collectors, where rarity, history, and condition reign supreme. Think of it like fine art. A Picasso painting might look like scribbles to some, but to others, it's priceless. The same logic applies here. The 1978 D penny becomes valuable when it's tied to an extraordinary story, and I'll share that story in just a moment. But first, let's explore how to identify these rare coins. A typical 1978 D penny is made of copper and zinc, weighs about 3.11 grams, and has no visible errors. But the valuable ones? They're anomalies. Look for coins with double die errors, where the letters and numbers appear shadowed or doubled. Or coins with off-center strikes, where the design is shifted. Even a subtle minting flaw, like a missing letter in the word Liberty, can turn an ordinary coin into a small fortune. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but with the right eye and a bit of luck, you could uncover a hidden gem. Now, let's talk about the coin that shocked the numismatic world. In 2023, a 1978 D penny sold for an astonishing $2.5 million at auction. Why? Because it was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and provenance. This coin was not only an error piece but also graded at a near-perfect mint state 68 by professional grading services. To put that into perspective, most pennies circulating today would barely score a 20. This coin was like the Michael Jordan of Lincoln pennies, an unparalleled champion in its field. If you're thinking, well, that's great, but I'm never going to find a $2.5 million penny, think again. These coins often turn up in the most unexpected places. One collector found a rare penny at a garage sale, mixed in with a box of old buttons. Another spotted one in a friend's forgotten piggy bank. So ask yourself, when's the last time you really looked at the coins in your wallet? Could you be sitting on a hidden fortune? Now, I know some of you are wondering, how do I even start? Here's a quick action plan. First, gather all the loose change in your house. Next, examine every 1978 D penny under good lighting, using a magnifying glass if possible. Look for the key signs we mentioned earlier, doubling, off-center strikes, and other abnormalities. Once you think you've found a potential treasure, have it authenticated and graded by a reputable service. It's like playing the lottery, but with significantly better odds. Let me leave you with this thought: millions of these pennies were minted, but only a handful are worth life-changing money. Every day that passes, more of these rare coins are discovered and claimed, shrinking the pool of opportunities. The clock is ticking. Do you want to be the person who wonders, what if, or the one who takes action and unlocks a pathway to wealth? So, here's my challenge to you: tonight, take 10 minutes to sift through your spare change. That simple act could alter the course of your life. And if you find something extraordinary, let me know in the comments. Your story could be the next one I feature on this channel. Something you probably have sitting in a jar at home could be worth more than $2.3 million. That's not a typo. Imagine turning a simple copper coin into a life-changing fortune. Stay with me, because today, we're uncovering the secrets of the 1979 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable that it's making headlines in the numismatic world. Let's start with a question: when was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? You might not realize it, but some of those coins could hold the key to your financial freedom. And if you're thinking, how can a penny be worth millions? Well, you're about to find out. It's 1979. Gas costs 86 cents a gallon, and the Sony Walkman is the latest must-have gadget. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint is producing billions of Lincoln pennies. Among those billions, a small batch from the Denver Mint stands out, the 1979 D Mint Mark Lincoln pennies. Here's where things get fascinating. Not all pennies are created equal. Some have errors or unique features that make them extraordinarily valuable to collectors. The 1979 D penny is a prime example. Due to a rare minting error, certain coins have an unusual doubling on the date or the mint mark, known as a double die. These anomalies were unintentional, but they've turned these coins into treasures. Now, before you rush to grab your jar of pennies, let me set the stage. Only a handful of these error coins exist. Think of it like winning the lottery, but instead of buying a ticket, you just have to inspect the change you already own. And yes, I'll show you exactly what to look for in just a moment. What makes the 1979 D penny worth millions? So, what's the big deal about this coin? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Collectors, and we're talking about some very wealthy individuals, are willing to pay top dollar for coins that tell a story. The 1979 D penny with the double die error fits the bill perfectly. The D mint mark, this indicates the coin was minted in Denver. But not just any D will do, you're looking for one that appears doubled. Look closely at the 1979. If the numbers appear to have a shadow or doubling effect, you might be holding a jackpot in your hand. Coins in pristine condition, also known as mint state, fetch the highest prices. Even minor scratches or wear can impact the value, but don't let that discourage you. Even a worn 1979 D penny with a double die error can be worth thousands. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're thinking, this sounds like finding a needle in a haystack, you're not alone. But here's the exciting part: collectors and dealers are constantly on the hunt for these coins. The market is hot, and there's a sense of urgency. Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing a headline about someone who found one of these pennies and sold it for millions. That could be you. Now that you know what to look for, what should you do if you find a potential treasure? First, don't clean the coin. I know it's tempting to make it shiny, but cleaning can actually decrease its value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and store it in a protective case. Next, get it authenticated. Reputable coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can verify the coin's authenticity and grade its condition. This step is crucial, as it gives buyers confidence and ensures you get the best possible price. Finally, decide where to sell. Online auction sites like eBay are popular, but for a coin of this caliber, you might want to consider a professional auction house or a reputable coin dealer. These venues often have access to serious collectors willing to pay premium prices. Before we wrap up, here's a cliffhanger for you. What if I told you that the 1979 D penny isn't the only coin hiding in plain sight? There are other rare pennies from different years that are just as valuable, if not more so. But you'll have to stick around for another video to learn about those. So, go ahead, dig through that jar of coins, check the couch cushions, and inspect every penny that comes your way. Who knows? Your next step could be from loose change to a luxurious lifestyle. And remember, opportunities like this don't wait. Start searching today, because the next big coin story could be yours. Where your pocket change might just hold the key to untold wealth. Today, we're diving deep into a story that could transform your financial future. Do you own a 1984 Lincoln penny with a small D mint mark? If so, you might be sitting on a goldmine worth up to $2.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny worth millions. Let's unravel the mystery behind this coin and what makes it so valuable. It's 1984, Ronald Reagan is president, MTV is playing actual music, and in Denver, a seemingly ordinary penny rolls off the minting press. It's just another copper-colored coin, destined to jingling in pockets and dropping into vending machines. But hidden in plain sight, a handful of these pennies contain a secret, a rare and valuable minting error. Fast forward to today. Most people overlook their spare change, tossing it into jars or forgetting it in couch cushions. But what if one of those forgotten coins could change your life? The 1984 D Lincoln penny with its unique error has turned casual coin collectors into overnight millionaires. Before we dive into how you can identify one, let me ask, when was the last time you really looked at your coins? So, what makes this penny so extraordinary? It all comes down to a double die error. During the minting process, the die that stamped these pennies shifted slightly, creating a doubling effect on certain details. Look closely at the date or the lettering on a 1984 D penny. If you see what looks like a shadow or duplicate image, you might have just hit the jackpot. Here's the kicker: most people don't even know they have one of these coins. They pass it off as pocket change or use it to pay for coffee. That's why these pennies are so rare and valuable. Collectors are willing to pay astronomical amounts to own one. In fact, a pristine example of this coin recently sold at auction for $2.20 million. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Finding one of these coins isn't as simple as grabbing a handful of pennies. You need to know exactly what to look for. And that's where most people fail, they don't take the time to inspect their coins. Are you starting to feel that itch of curiosity yet? Because we're about to dig deeper. Quick question, what's the weirdest thing you've ever found in your pocket? Was it a mystery receipt from 2012? A random button? What if it had been a multi-million-dollar penny? Yeah, I'd be kicking myself. 2.so, how can you find this elusive coin, and what should you do if you think you've got one? First, grab a magnifying glass or your smartphone's zoom feature. Check the D mint mark and the date. Look for signs of doubling, even a slight distortion could mean big money. Second, keep the coin in a protective case or soft cloth to avoid scratches. Condition is everything in the collector world. Finally, if you think you've struck gold, consult a professional coin appraiser or a grading service like PCGS. These experts can authenticate your find and guide you on how to sell it for the highest value. Imagine walking into an auction house and watching collectors bid over $2 million for a coin you found in your change jar. That's life-changing money, a ticket to financial freedom. But here's the twist, the window to cash in on rare coins like this won't stay open forever. As more collectors snap up these treasures, the market will tighten. Don't be the person who looks back and says, if only I'd checked my pennies sooner. Before we wrap up, I'll leave you with this. What would you do with $2.2 million? Would you travel the world? Pay off your debts? Start a business? The opportunity is in your hands, literally. So go check your spare change, and who knows? The next millionaire might just be watching this video. Have you ever heard of a penny so rare, so valuable, it could completely change your life? Imagine holding in your hands a coin worth over $2.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that could make you a millionaire overnight. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1987 VDB Lincoln penny. Could one of these rare coins be hiding in your pocket right now? Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's so valuable, and how you could cash in big time. Let's set the stage. It's 1987, the year of shoulder pads, cassette tapes, and, unbeknownst to most, a year that produced one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. The Denver Mint, represented by that small D mark under the date on the penny, was churning out millions of these coins. But somewhere in the production process, a small number of these pennies turned out to be unlike the rest. And when I say, unlike the rest, I mean unique errors that have collectors today absolutely scrambling to get their hands on them. Now, before you rush to check your coin jar, let's talk about why this penny is so special. What makes it worth more than a house in Beverly Hills? It's all about the details that the average person could easily miss. The 1987 VDB penny is notorious for its rare errors, like double die obverse and reverse designs, misaligned dies, and even experimental minting processes that weren't supposed to see the light of day. These errors aren't just mistakes, they're history frozen in copper. And collectors? They're willing to pay a premium for history. Let's pause for a moment. Have you ever wondered how many hidden treasures are sitting right under our noses? It's like finding a golden ticket, except this one might be tucked away in your drawer, forgotten in an old coin collection, or, wait, could it be jingling around in your car's cup holder right now? Go ahead, I'll wait while you check. No luck? Don't worry, I'll show you exactly what you need to know to identify one of these incredible coins. Here's the kicker. Some of these rare 1987 VDB pennies have already been sold at auction for jaw-dropping amounts. A recent auction saw one go for over $2.1 million. Why? Because these coins are not just currency, they're pieces of art, mistakes with a story, and an essential part of numismatic history. When collectors find a coin like this, they're not just buying metal, they're buying a piece of a much larger puzzle. And when the puzzle involves rarity, history, and a little mystery, the price skyrockets. But let's get back to you. How can you tell if you have one of these prized coins? First, grab a magnifying glass. Yes, I know, who even owns one these days? If not, your smartphone's zoom camera will work. Look for signs of doubling on the letters or numbers, specifically around Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. Check the edges for strange ridges or abnormalities. And here's a pro tip: compare the color and weight of the coin to a regular penny. Anything unusual? Don't dismiss it. Here's a quick quiz. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? Be honest. Most of us toss them aside without a second thought. And that's exactly why treasures like the 1987 D penny remain hidden for decades. Could you be the next person to discover one? Imagine what $2.1 million could do for you. Pay off debts. Travel the world. Secure your family's future. Or maybe finally buy that dream house you've been pinning to your vision board. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this. If you're thinking, there's no way I'd ever find a coin like this, remember this: every single person who has ever discovered a rare coin started with the same thought. They weren't experts, they were everyday people like you who took a second to check their change. The only difference? They knew what to look for, and now, so do you. So, what's your next step? Start looking. Search your old coin collections, dig through those jars of change, and check every penny that comes your way. If you think you found something special, get it authenticated by a trusted expert or a numismatic society. Don't let doubt stop you from discovering a life-changing treasure. Now, here's the cliffhanger. In our next video, we're going to reveal another coin from the 1980s that's quietly making waves in the numismatic world, and it could be even more valuable than the 1987 D penny. Could lightning strike twice in your favor? You'll have to tune in to find out. In today's video, we're diving into the incredible story and current market value of the 1996 D Lincoln penny, a coin that has collectors and investors alike buzzing with excitement. Could you unknowingly be holding onto a piece of history worth up to $2 million? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know what makes this penny so valuable but also how to identify if you've hit the jackpot. Let's start with a question. When was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? Odds are, you've dismissed them as nothing more than loose change. But here's the shocking reality: some pennies are anything but ordinary. Take the 1996 D Lincoln penny for instance. At first glance, it looks like just another copper coin, right? Wrong. This particular penny has a story that's rewriting the rules of coin collecting. You see, a handful of these coins have unique errors and rare characteristics that make them extraordinarily valuable. Imagine holding a $2 million treasure in the palm of your hand without even realizing it. Now, before you rush to empty your piggy bank, let's dig deeper into why this penny is turning heads. First, let's talk about the mint mark. The D stands for Denver, where this coin was minted. Coins from this mint often come with subtle variations, and in the case of the 1996 D Lincoln penny, these variations are like gold dust to collectors. What's the big deal, you ask? Errors. Coins with misprints, double dies, or other production quirks are incredibly rare and valuable. For example, some 1996 D pennies have been discovered with a doubling effect on the date or mint mark. Others show slight off-center strikes or unusual surface flaws caused during the minting process. These errors aren't just mistakes, they're treasures. Why? Because scarcity drives value. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that stand out from the crowd. Here's where it gets even better. These pennies' value isn't just about the errors. The material composition and pristine condition of the coin also matter. Uncirculated or mint-state coins can fetch staggering amounts, especially when certified by professional grading services. Imagine turning a penny into a down payment for your dream house. And speaking of dreams, let me ask you this: what would you do with $2 million? Would you retire early? Travel the world? Start a business? Hold that thought, because we're about to uncover exactly how to find these rare pennies and ensure you don't miss out. Alright, so how do you know if you have one of these golden tickets? Step 1. Examine your pennies closely. Look for the D mint mark, and then inspect the coin under bright light or with a magnifying glass. Pay attention to the date, mint mark, and overall condition. If you spot anything unusual, like doubling, off-center strikes, or surface anomalies, you might be in luck. Next, consider getting your coin professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and appraise your coin's value. Yes, there's a small fee involved, but it's a worthwhile investment if your penny turns out to be a multi-million-dollar find. But here's the catch: the window of opportunity won't last forever. As more people discover the value of these coins, the market could become saturated. This creates urgency. Don't wait too long to act. The last thing you want is to realize you've been sitting on a fortune that's lost its luster. Now, let's end with a bit of humor. Imagine explaining to your friends and family that you're quitting your job because a penny changed your life. Sounds crazy, right? But for those who've struck it rich with rare coins, that's their reality. So, what's your next move? Will you be the one who discovers the next $1 million penny? The choice is yours. Check those coins, stay curious, and remember, fortune often favors the bold and the attentive. Who knew your path to a wealthy lifestyle could start with a single penny? But wait, what if that penny in your hand was worth $1.8 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the jaw-dropping story of the 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could change your life forever. Everyday coins are often overlooked, tossed in jars, or forgotten in couch cushions. But what if one of those humble pennies held the key to financial freedom? That's exactly what makes the 2006 Lincoln penny so fascinating. You might be asking yourself, what could possibly make a 2006 penny so valuable? Here's the twist: certain pennies minted in 2006 at the Denver Mint weren't your average coins. They were struck with a unique error, a tiny yet significant detail that collectors and investors go wild for. These pennies have been known to fetch upwards of $1.8 million at auctions. Before you rush to your piggy bank, let's uncover the secrets behind this coin. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be searching through every jar, drawer, and coin collection you've ever owned. Let's take a closer look at what makes this 2006 penny so extraordinary. In the world of numismatics, errors are a big deal. These could be double die obverse, off-center strikes, or even planchet mistakes. For the 2006 Lincoln penny, the key is in a minting anomaly so rare that it's practically a golden ticket in the coin world. Now, before we get too technical, here's a quick question: when was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? Go ahead, be honest. For most of us, they're just small change. But what if ignoring those pennies could cost you millions? Collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums for coins with unique characteristics. It's not just about the errors, it's about the story each coin tells. This penny's story includes scarcity, impeccable craftsmanship gone awry, and a fervent demand among high-end buyers. But don't take my word for it. Just last year, one of these 2006 pennies sold at auction for a record-breaking $1.8 million. Imagine holding that kind of treasure in your hand, tucked away in a pocket, completely unaware of its worth. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these valuable pennies? First, grab a magnifying glass and check for key signs of minting errors or irregularities. Look for doubling on the lettering or numbers, any signs of misalignment, or anything that seems unusual. And here's the cliffhanger: even if you don't find a 2006 Lincoln penny worth millions, there are countless other coins out there with extraordinary value. Some might be hiding right under your nose. Have you checked your loose change lately? As we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought: the path to wealth isn't always paved with grand investments or risky ventures. Sometimes, it starts with the smallest, most overlooked details, like a single penny. So don't wait. Grab your coins, start your search, and who knows? Your next discovery could be the ticket to a new life of freedom and abundance. Hit the like button if you're excited to start hunting, subscribe for more life-changing coin stories, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin before. We're uncovering the incredible story behind the 2007 mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin you might find sitting in a jar on your dresser, and how one of these pennies could potentially be worth up to $1.5 million. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you looked closely at your loose change? What if I told you that a single penny in your pocket could hold the key to a life of financial freedom? Yes, you heard that right, financial freedom, courtesy of a 1-cent coin. That it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But what if that penny turned out to be a 2007 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny? There's one coin out there that has collectors and investors alike buzzing with excitement. And trust me, you don't want to miss the chance to find it before someone else does. Before we dive into the fascinating details, let's set the stage. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, and over the years, some editions have become so rare and valuable they could easily buy you a luxury car, a house, or even an early retirement. But why the 2007 D penny? Why now? And how can you identify if you're holding on to one of the rarest treasures in American history? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to capitalize on this incredible opportunity. Spoiler alert, your life could change forever. A man, let's call him Dave, was cleaning out his attic when he stumbled upon an old jar of coins. At first, he thought nothing of it. Just some spare change, right? But as he sifted through the pennies, he noticed something unusual about one of them. The shine was different. The D Mint mark, the small letter on the coin, stood out, almost as if it was trying to tell him something. Curious, Dave decided to have the coin appraised. The result? That penny wasn't just any penny. It was a 2007 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition, and its estimated value? Over $1 million. Now, you might be thinking, that's a 1 in a million story. But here's the twist, there are potentially hundreds of these pennies still in circulation. Right now. That means the next $1 million penny could be sitting in your change jar, your glove compartment, or even at the bottom of your couch cushions. Let's break down why this penny is so valuable. First, there's its rarity. A small minting error in the Denver Mint's production process created a batch of pennies that stand out to collectors. Second, condition matters. The better the condition, the higher the value. And lastly, the demand. With more collectors entering the market, the value of these rare coins is skyrocketing. But here's the kicker, the window of opportunity is closing. As more of these pennies are found, fewer will be left for discovery, and prices could plateau or even drop. So, if you're serious about finding your own 2007 D Lincoln penny, the time to act is now. Imagine this. You find a 2007 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. You've done the research. You've verified its authenticity. And now, you're standing in an auction room or sitting behind your computer as bidders from around the world compete to own a piece of history. The final bid? $1.5 million. What would you do with that kind of money? Would you pay off your debts? Buy your dream home? Travel the world? The possibilities are endless, and it all starts with taking action today. Here's how you can get started. Check your change. Don't just glance at it. Inspect it closely for the D Mint mark and any unusual features. Learn about coin grading. Even a rare coin loses value if it's not in good condition. Get your coins appraised. Reach out to a trusted numismatic expert to verify your findings. Stay informed. Follow channels like this one to keep up with the latest trends and discoveries in the world of rare coins. But before you rush off to start your search, let me leave you with one last thought. Every rare coin has a story, and that story could be yours. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. The next life-changing discovery could be in your hands right now. All it takes is the courage to look. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your change, and let us know in the comments if you find anything interesting. And remember, this isn't just about finding a rare coin. It's about unlocking a new chapter in your life, one penny at a time. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another incredible story. Until next time, happy hunting.